सर्वधर्मस्थापकत्वं सर्वधर्मस्वरूपकः आचार्याणां महाचार्यो रामकृष्णाय ते नमः. O establisher of all the faiths, embodiment of all the religions, the greatest teacher among all the teachers, O Sri Ramakrishna, my salutations to you. Namaste, pranam. The child, when he is busy playing with the toy, cannot be disturbed by any other allurements. When the toy, even if you give him a sweetmeat, no, the child will eat just a little bit of it and again go back to the toy with which the child is playing. No disturbance, no distractions, me and my enjoyments. And that is what we get into during our worldly life. We are so much tempted by all these toys around us that we are just engrossed in enjoying those enjoyments. And then suddenly we realize that this playing with the toy is not taking us any forward. We get tired by playing with the toys. We get tired and now we start looking for our mother. Where is my mother? And in such a state of mind, anyone who comes to us saying that, yes, I will take you to the mother, like the child, we start following that person with the hope that this person will take me to the mother. And then our search for our mother, then our journey towards our mother starts, exactly like the child. And Sri Ramakrishna had indicated for such a happening, the incarnations, they come down to take us to our mother, to show us the path. And then Sri Ramakrishna had also told us that Shakti herself personifies, Shakti herself becomes the flesh as God incarnate. The Shakti which is projected from the Purusha, the Prakriti which is projected from the Purusha, she herself takes the physical form as the incarnation, as the God incarnate, and shows us the path, shows us the way, and takes us back to our origin, to our source. So this is what Sri Ramakrishna had taught us in our previous learning. And now on this 18th of August 1883, Sri Ramakrishna has come to his beloved disciple Balram Bose's house. And again, a group of a very intimate circle of devotees. Sri M, of course, is there. And Sri Ramakrishna is talking to them about the God incarnate. Again, he's talking about that incarnation. Sri Ramakrishna says, in order to bring people spiritual knowledge, an incarnation of God lives in the world in the company of devotees. Exactly like Sri Ramakrishna has been living in the company of devotees. He is visiting his beloved disciples, his beloved devotees, and teaching them and giving them instructions on the spiritual enlightenment. Cherishing an attitude of love for God. This is what the God incarnate does. An incarnation of God lives in the world in the company of devotees, cherishing an attitude of love for God. That is what the God incarnate does. That is God. That is what Sri Ramakrishna is doing with all his disciples and devotees, cherishing the love for God. Love for God is the only objective that Sri Ramakrishna is sharing with his disciples and devotees. It is like going up and coming down the stairs after having once reached the roof. That is what the incarnations do, having once reached the roof. It is not that the incarnations in a selfish manner, they just remain on top of that roof and enjoy that bliss all by themselves. No, they again come down. They come down to enlighten all those people, all those masses who are struggling to come out of the darkness, who are struggling to come out of the ignorance, who are struggling to attain to devotion and knowledge. And these incarnations, they keep on their journey from roof to bottom, to roof to bottom, to roof to bottom. They go up, come down, go up, come down. And this is what happens in the lives of God incarnates. It is like going up and coming down the stairs after having once reached the roof. In order to reach the roof, other people should follow the path of devotion as long as they have not attained knowledge and uh, become free of desire. People have to climb these steps in order to reach the roof. They have to their struggle for knowledge has started. They have taken the path of devotion. They have taken the path of following this God incarnates in order to get rid of their devotions, their desires. They have to be free from desires. The moment a devotee, a spiritual aspirant is free from desires, that is the moment of spiritual enlightenment for that aspirant. And this is what God incarnates, they keep on doing. They keep on taking these people, come follow me, come on the step, come on the stairs, and you will reach the roof. But for reaching the roof, they have to cross over all those steps. They have to cross over the stairs. They have to give up all the desires, and then they attain that knowledge. The roof can be reached only when all desires are done away with. Now, this is what Sri Ramakrishna is teaching to the group of his intimate disciples and devotees. In order to reach the roof, we have to do away with all the desires, give up all the desires, and then only we can reach the roof, we can get into that state of absolute bliss. The shopkeeper does not go to bed before finishing his accounts. This is a typical happening in the life of any worldly shopkeeper. The shopkeeper, when he closes down, his business is over for the day. It is not just that he closes the shutter and locks the gate and goes away. No. He might be stopping his day-to-day selling business from his shop, but his work only ends when he finishes writing his account books, when he finishes tallying his accounts, how much I have spent, how much I have earned. Once that account book tallies, then he is happy, then he is satisfied, and then he closes his business for the day. Exactly in the same manner, Sri Ramakrishna says, for a spiritual aspirant, we have to tally our book of accounts. How much I have given, how much I have taken up, how much I have given away, how much I have taken from the Lord. So that is how a spiritual aspirant's life is, just like a life of any ordinary shopkeeper. In spite of closing down the shop, in spite of closing down, completing the business of selling the things, the work is not over. The tallying of the book of accounts, that is the most important. So we have to take this thing in our day-to-day activities. We have to do this. What is our account status? How much is plus? How much is minus? Are we in the plus? Are our positive traits exceeding all the negative and the traits that we have to do away with? How many desires we still have? Have we given up the desires? Have we come to the point that now there is no more desire, and then we close the shop? When we come to that state, then we can reach the roof, and then we can enjoy that moment of absolute bliss. He goes to sleep only when his accounts are finished, the shopkeeper. So let us also finish our accounts. Let us also finish all the desires. And the moment all the desires are fulfilled, the moment we are done away with all the desires, when we renounce all the desires, once we give away all the desires, that is the time when the moment for our spiritual illumination, our enlightenment has arrived. Complete the account books. Just get rid of all the desires. And there we are on the path of salvation. There we are on the path of liberation. There we are on the path of illumination and spiritual enlightenment. And to M specifically, he says, well, all these things they have, Sri Ramakrishna has spoken to the devotees in general. Now, a very specific instruction to Sri M. Sri Ramakrishna says, a man will certainly succeed if he will take the plunge. Success is sure for such a man. Simply sitting on the bank of the river or the bank of the lake, he won't be able to get anything. If he wants to swim, he has to take a plunge. He has to dive deep in that lake. He has to dive deep in that water. One has to dive deep in that lake of devotion. Simply chanting the name of the Lord and simply saying, oh, I am a devotee, I am a devotee, that is not going to help. Sitting on the bank, sitting on the at the lake is not going to make us wait with the water of devotion. We have to take a plunge. We have to take plunge with a great yearning. That has to be the most sincere and the most honest effort to get that realization. Success is sure for such a man who takes a deep plunge in the lake of devotion and gets oneself wet with the water of the devotion. And then Sri Ramakrishna asks M. Well, what do you think of the worship conducted by Keshab, Shivanath and other Brahmo leaders? Now, Brahmo leaders, they don't believe in the idol worship as such. They are the worshippers of the formless aspect of the divine. And Sri M also has a tendency of worshipping the formless aspect. So Sri Ramakrishna just asked him, while he has told him that you have to jump in the lake, you have to take a plunge in the lake of devotion, only then you can succeed. And then he asked him, what is your opinion about the worship conducted by Keshab Sen, by Shivanath Shastri and other Brahmo devotees? And M says, they are satisfied, as you say, with describing the garden. M has understood Sri Ramakrishna's teaching now. So M tells Sri Ramakrishna that they are happy by visiting and describing the garden. Oh, the garden is so nice, so many plants, so many beautiful trees. It is maintained in such a nice manner. But they seldom speak of seeing the master of the garden. They are all praises. They all praise the Brahman. They all praise the formless aspect of the divine. But they have never made an attempt to know who is behind this garden, who is the owner of this garden, who is the owner of this entire creation. They only talk about that Brahman. They have never made any attempt, they have never made any effort to realize the ultimate Brahman. Describing the garden is the beginning and end of their worship. That's what they do, Sri M says now. Now Sri M has realized that their teaching, their preaching of all these Brahmo leaders is just kind of a rudimentary. It is a shallow, it doesn't have the depth of teachings of Sri Ramakrishna. Sri Ramakrishna always says, don't go by the look of the garden, don't go by how beautiful the garden is, how nicely it is maintained. That is fine, it is maintained nicely, it is a beautiful garden, it has got wonderful plants, but be interested in knowing who owns this garden. There are thousands and thousands of such gardens. There is no dearth of these gardens in this creation, but get to know the owner of this garden. Who owns this garden? So that is the teaching Sri Ramakrishna has given, and Sri M has rightly understood. When Sri Ramakrishna asked him, what do you think about the preachings of the Brahmo leaders? And he said, they are only doing the superficial preaching. They are only interested in the garden, the beauty of the garden. They are not interested. They don't go deep to know who is the owner of the garden. And then Sri Ramakrishna says, you're right. Our only duty is to seek the master of the garden and speak to him. Simply getting impressed by the beauty and the look of the garden, we don't get satisfied. Rather, our curiosity gets ignited. The moment we see anything good, our curiosity should get ignited. Our curiosity should get sparked. Who is the owner? Who is behind this beautiful thing? Who has created it? Who is the creator? Get to know that. And once you know the owner, once you know the master, once you know the creator, then you will absolutely enjoy the beauty of all this garden. Our only duty is to seek the master of the garden and speak to him. The only purpose of life is to realize God. This is what Sri Ramakrishna always teaches his intimate disciples, his devotees. The only purpose of life is to know God. God awareness, God realization is the only objective, is the only aim of this human life. Don't go by the splendors of the God that has created. Oh, such a beautiful world, such a mighty galaxy, such a mighty solar system. Don't go by all these things. Get to know who is behind this entire creation. Try to reach the mother, try to reach the Shakti, and through Shakti, try to reach the Purusha. Get to know the Adya Shakti, the primal energy, and from primal energy, you reach the Brahman. Start your path knowing the owner of this garden. And once we know the owner of this garden, once we know the owner of this creation, the one who has created this creation, that's the end of it. Then we know everything. Then we'll know everything about this creation. We don't have to then start, digging our books and going through the books and get to know anything about this universe, about this creation. Get to know the God. God realization is the ultimate aim of the human life. That is what Sri Ramakrishna keeps on telling us, keeps on telling his devotees. Om Namah Shri Bhagavate Ramakrishna. Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu. Jai Thakur, Jai Ma, Jai Swami.